Wow, I just checked in with my guide and the Akashic Records about the solstice because many people in my community they're feeling the energy is intense these days, lots of tiredness, lots of overwhelm. So I wanted to check in with my spiritual team like what is going on, and they gave me three very practical tips that we can embody these times to make the best out of this. So let's dive straight in. I have three themes for you. They will be so practical. We can immediately start applying them, and it will make these times so much easier. We will travel with so much more grace. We will not feel the overwhelm or the tiredness. We might feel it, but it will not affect us in any negative way when we start applying these things. So let me share them with you because they're amazing. The first thing that they were telling me is there is this sound barrier effect. And what that means is we are speeding up. But sometimes speeding up actually feels like slowing down. Like, why is that? And you can actually see this in nature in many different areas. So, like when a plane goes into the sound barrier, first it has a lot of resistance, and then it breaks through, and then like you hear this shock wave, right? Before that shock wave happens, a lot of energy is compressed, so that feels very dense, even though the plane goes fast. Like if the plane goes slow, it might not have that much air compression, but when the plane goes fast, it will first get a lot of resistance before it breaks through. And they were telling me that this solstice is a time where it's a very great time to shift. A lot of people, especially people in the conscious communities, they are getting themselves ready for a shift. Now that means, in a way, that we are hitting that sound barrier. But maybe an easier metaphor would even be water. Let's say you're surfing or you're hanging on a boat in the water, and the boat just goes with maybe 2 miles an hour, 5 kilometers an hour, just walking speed, and you're just cruising very slowly in the water, and it's beautiful and it's peaceful. But when that boat starts to speed up and it starts to go 50 an hour, all of a sudden you're like on that little rope, you're holding on, and the water is like super intense. So in a way you go faster, but you feel way more resistant. The same way is with air. Right? If you will be on a bicycle on a non-windy day, you will just feel a very slow breeze hitting your skin. It will all be nice. But if you jump out of a plane and you're going parachute jumping, that same non-windy day can feel incredibly intense because there's just so much air coming at you. So when you go faster, it might feel like you go so slow, or like life gets denser, because actually you're going very fast on the energetical plane. Now this happens up until you break through and you go through that sound barrier. And after that breakthrough moment, you will start shifting to a place that you desire to be in. And it's very important because everyone will experience a shift. The shift will go to the place that we are wishing for. But we really therefore need to be very secure and accurate with what we are wishing for. So what does that mean? That means that if you're wishing for example, being in a place of more service, then really start entertaining these thoughts of already being in a place of more service. If you want more peace, start really entertaining these thoughts where you are already enjoying that peace. But if you want more peace, but your current mind, your current thoughts are constantly pointing out all of the things that are not peaceful, you're not focused on peace, you're actually focused on all the disruptors of peace in your field, right? So you're like all of these weird distortions that make you less peaceful. Even though you want peace, you're not wishing for peace. You're not attentively thinking and desiring peace. You're actually focusing on all the things that do not make you peaceful. It's therefore very important that we are expressing to life, to the universe, to that energy that makes us go faster, where we want to go to. So it becomes more important than ever. It always has been important, of course, to be a safeguard for your mind and to really, whenever, like, let me say it like this. Let's clearly know what you desire and focus your thoughts on the vibration of that desire. We are so used to think about the opposite. We want safety, so we're looking if there's any danger. We want abundance and prosperity, but we're constantly focused on where we have the lack of it. I have to pay the bills. Oh, I don't know if I can pay that. If you start to focus on that, you are actually saying to the universe, hey, this is my focus. Basically, you're expressing your desires with your focus. So let's become very aware of what you're focusing on. And some people, in some weird way, where I don't understand anymore, but I used to think like that too. Some people have the feeling that they are not realistic when they are doing so, but actually, this process is constantly working. And you can use this process in your advantage, or you can use that process by staying stuck in the field you don't want to be in. So most of the time when you're like, it's not realistic to focus on peace when my current environment is not peaceful, I would say back to that person, okay, how has focusing on your non-peaceful environment worked for you so far, right? Has it changed? And if they already have been focusing on 2 years and haven't changed, like maybe they should try another focus point. So actually, it's super realistic to start communicating with the universe where you want to go to. It is how reality seems to work for us in this dimension. So it might not have been taught in school. It's been now taught into many different areas, right? Law of attraction, manifestation, things like that. But it is so powerful that some people even believe it's too good to be true, or it's wishy-washy, or it's too imaginary. But there is a reason why children are natural manifestors. There's a reason why children are naturally constantly doing this. So let's go there. Let's go into this place. Let's carefully think about our focus, because the shift that we are heading into will bring us to the place we want to be at. So start focusing on the things that you actually want. Stop focusing on the things you don't want. Very important. Now, sometimes your focus and the things that are in your field are not necessarily yours. And the Akashic Records have been guiding me to do a ceremony this Saturday, the 21st of June. So if you see this before this Saturday, come join me, because we are going in that ceremony and we're going to make sure your energy field is not working against you. What I mean, your energy field is never really working against you, but you might have ancestral patterns and frequencies. You might have past life vows that hold you back from actually moving completely in that direction that you want to. You might, in your own conscious mind, completely already be focusing on that place where you want to go to, but if an ancestor believes you were not worthy of it, that you might drag that energy. You might drag a lot of weight, or from your family line, or from your past life experience in that. And the Akashic Records are masters in changing these frequencies and cutting these frequencies of you. So let's go there. I did this ceremony on myself together with them around a week and a half ago, and I started to feel so light and so prosperous because of it. I needed to clear a lot of ancestral lines on money and prosperity. Even though it's already way better than before, I still felt there were some things that were just not mine. holding me back. They cleared 14 ancestor lines and 3 past life vows that I didn't work on. And all of a sudden, I started to feel literally new energy moving through my body. So because that was so powerful, I was immediately like, people need to know this. People need to get clear of this. And what happens, especially because we're in the sound barrier effect, we will remove all the unnecessary baggage from our energy field. So like an air balloon, right? When an air balloon wants to go higher, it needs to remove the baggage and it will go higher. It will speed up in a way. So the faster we are able to speed up, the faster we will go through the sound barrier. And that's why this is so important. That's why I would love to do this, so that we have the least amount of time experiencing this heavy, dense resistance, and we can break through with the greatest ease. So if you want to join, the link will be down below. Let's go to the next point. Like, the next point is, the next theme of this solstice that I receive is trust, and all patterns of mistrust moving up to get out of your way. Now, what does that mean? That means that we are moving into a world where, at its most baseline, we trust life. We trust the universe. We trust the environment that we are in. Our current collective has been running on mistrust for a very long time. It is still, at the core, sometimes feeling very unsafe, but this is not an unsafe world. But because we believe it's unsafe, we do a lot of weird things that make actually this reality more unsafe than it needs to be, right? What it becomes, the trust, and everything that is not trusting life will come up. And that might even feel more intense than the sound barrier effect that we talked about. Like, they gave me a list, actually. They gave me a list of things that I want to show you. All of these things actually are based in mistrust. So things that might come up for you will be control, wanting to know what's happening in the future instead of focusing on the current moment. Overwhelm, because overwhelm is not trusting that all necessary things will be processed in the right time. Impatience, which means not trusting divine timing. Unsafety, which means not trusting you are safe. Shame, not trusting that you are loved. Guilt, not trusting that you are enough. Pressure or stress, not trusting that you are doing enough. And fear of missing out, not trusting that you are on the right track and already in the right place right now. So even though these topics might feel very different from each other, they're all based in a mistrust of you being here and this universe, this reality supporting you. In the new world where we are moving to, especially the conscious people, they are pioneering into this space. These frequencies just simply are not, well, I will not say welcome. The whole thing doesn't run on that anymore. So what does that mean? That means that it needs to move out of you. How will that move out of you? It moves out of you by actually coming up. So it gets a little bit more intense, so you can see it. And once you see it, it will be removed. Now, that seeing is the most uncomfortable part, because you don't want to feel shame. You might already have processed a lot of shame. You're like, why is shame coming up again? The only thing that you really have to do, and they gave me the best perspective to look at this, is to look at that shame when it's coming up and just say, oh, shame, I see you. I see that you're still based in mistrust. It's good to acknowledge that I still carried some of that mistrust inside of my body. I see you. That's it. You don't have to know where does it come from. You don't have to overanalyze. You don't have to shove it away. You don't have to numb yourself so you don't feel it. Just say, I see you. But also acknowledge, but this is not a part of me that I want to continue longer with. So I let you naturally be processed out of my system. And it might be there for a little while, but you can be amazed when you're not attaching yourself, you're not judging, you're just seeing it and accepting it, how fast it might actually move away. Like 10 minutes later, you might already feel a great relief. So that's the second theme, that mistrust will come up so that you will actually land in a new space of complete trust with life. And life becomes so easy when we're actually are in our body moving from that place. So it is a little discomfort, but if you already take into account that that process needs to happen, because you will then, after that relief, land in a place of complete trust with life, you will notice that life will never feel as hard anymore. It will really become a joy, a bliss to live and to co-create with life, to co-create with this super intelligence, this way higher intelligence that we can hold in our mind. It actually carries everything into the most beautiful synchronicities. Once we truly have our composition of our energy based in that, I experience glimpses of it, and it's delicious to live there. And I wish that for everyone. The solstice is going to greatly help with this. Also, this process is speeding that up. And the third topic, it's a very practical topic that I received, and I love it. I think it will greatly help us anyway, is that we are being called to make our living space, whatever that space is, to make it a sacred space and an inner child playground. Now, what is that? You know, like you might have sudden urges to start cleaning. You might have sudden urges to maybe get something creative, right? Maybe a canvas and some paint, maybe a photo camera, maybe, I don't know, a musical instrument, right? You might have a sudden urge to buy something very creative of yours, and you might have sudden urges to make your space a beautiful space, to clean it, to make it organized, to, for example, have some beautiful crystals around you, candles, incense, whatever your taste and style is. You might feel sudden urges to it, but these urges will even be more effective when you proactively create a space that is your sanctuary. So you can, when you're at home, you can really come to rest. Even if you're just living in a couple square meters or a couple square feet apartment, you can still make it beautiful for yourself. So depending on, it doesn't matter if the space is big or small, you can make it very easy, a lot more cozy by having candles, by having, for example, a basket of fruits around you, right? By having nice scents that you can, or by incense, or by a home perfume that you really like. So whenever you come home, it smells nice. So let your space put a smile on your face. I like that, that rhymes. Let your space put a smile on your face. When you look at your when you look at your living environment, enjoy the look of it. And if you don't enjoy the look of it, change it until you start to enjoy the look of it. So let it be your sanctuary, but also let it be your playground. So when you have some you time, instead of watching a screen that will just kind of curate the information for you, see if you can create your own experiences. So maybe it will be so nice to have an easel or a whiteboard where you can draw on or share ideas on. Or maybe you have an empty wall that you want to start decorating with different things. Or like I said, a musical instrument. Maybe you would love to play the ukulele or a guitar or a piano. you might invest in some of these things if you haven't have them already, or maybe they're at the attic, get them down. So when you're in your space, when you look around, everything feels amazing. And when you want to do something, instead of going to the TV or to your telephone, you actually are going to something creative, drawing, painting, singing, music creation, like one of these things, or decorating the house. These things can be so therapeutical. And they're not only therapeutical when you're a child, they're therapeutical all through your life. Why is this so important then? Now, because we are moving in such a shift energy, such a speeding up energy, you better speed up with a beautiful space around you than with a space around you where you're not happy yet. You better speed up when you look around. There's all beautiful artifacts and things that you like. Maybe you even make a couple of shrines or altars in your space where you honor your ancestors, or you honor your teachers, or you honor your own creativity. This is all so therapeutical and beautiful. So when you start to arrange, you will find that you make this a lot easier for yourself. And by giving love to the space around you, you also give love back to yourself. So this is an invitation. This will make this whole journey so much easier. Sometimes we need to do work inwardly so that the outward reality will change, but also we can change our direct environment so that inwardly we feel better. It works always both ways. So enjoy that. And wouldn't it be nice, even, it just comes up, like, wouldn't it be nice to have you make a picture before and you make a picture after, and you just see the difference, and you might even share the difference with your friends and inspire them to do something similar with their space. Like, oh, this is a part that I really don't like of the house. Then you spend an hour just arranging it, putting things that you like, making things beautiful, decorating it, getting creative with it. And then after that, you make another picture, like, hey, this is what I did in an hour, and now I just feel so much more happy with this corner of my living space. So those are the 3 themes that I received. 1, to recap, we go faster. And that faster ability comes with this sound barrier effect. And the best way to go with the highest ease through this sound barrier effect is to just let yourself go faster by removing all the weight away from us. So we go in the most gracious way, and we will go through that sound barrier the quickest as possible. And as well, make sure that you start focusing on the things that you desire, and remove your focus from the things that you are lacking or the things that you are not happy with, so you can tell the universe, this is where I want to shift to. Bring me there, right? So if you want to join the ceremony, you will get completely cleansed and cleared from your ancestral and past life files. It will be happening this Saturday. The link is below. I'm super excited to guide you through it. It's been a beautiful gift inside of me. The second theme is the trust. We are moving to a place of trust. So every pattern of mistrust will come up. The best way to look at it is to just, when it comes up, say, hey, yeah, that's true. Thank you, subconscious mind, for bringing this up. It's true. I still run a little bit on mistrust, and now I see it, and now it's time to leave. Let that happen. That's alchemy for you. You don't have to do anything. That's just a natural process that's inside of you. Let that happen. It is uncomfortable. It's so much easier said than done, but it's still quite easy when you move out of your own way and to let that happen and just be the observer of that. And 3 is sacred space creation. Make your space beautiful, give it love, and at the same time, let it be an invitation to be creative with the things that you feel creative at, right? If you're a writer, Have a notepad with a beautiful with a nice pen, right? A pen that you really like writing with. Have it just open in a corner or at a chair, right? If you're a reader, have a couple of books ready. If you want to paint, get an easel and a canvas, right? If you want to have music, get a guitar and get a stand, whatever, right? You get the point. There's just so many ways. Your creativity is limitless, so I have no clue what that means for you, but you have already an innate creativity inside of you. You have an inner urge of creation. It might be in very different ways. Maybe it's speaking. Then it would be really nice to have a microphone and a recorder somewhere where you can just, whenever you feel inspired, speak. And also when you're not inspired, speak. It's going to be beautiful to have such a space and to spend some extra time, because it will literally be your container during the shift. So you might as well make this the most beautiful container, right? Okay, I think this is it. I wish you an incredible solstice. I hope these practical receivings, these practical things of knowledge will help you. I'm certainly going to embody them and practice them with you. And if you like to join me in the solstice ceremony and remove all of that subconscious things that we kind of don't have control over, but just carrying in our energy field, if you want to have a clean energy field that is completely tuned to where you want to be, join me. It's going to be so beautiful. And I'm looking forward to see you live if that is a calling for you. Much love. Happy solstice. Happy transition. Happy shifts. I'm so curious where this world is going to, but we're sure going to a very, very powerful and beautiful place. You are the pioneer, you are the star seed, so let's seed this consciousness even more into our reality.